Welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another one of my videos. Again, my name is Raj, your favorite real estate professional. I'm going to be going over a topic that a lot of clients of mine have been asking me about, and that is in regards to FHA loan versus a conventional loan. So I'm just going to be touching on a couple topics under each to kind of give you the differences between and maybe who it's more appropriate for versus, not. So let me start off by going over FHA loan. So an FHA loan typically, guys, is going to be used for someone who is coming in as maybe a first-time home buyer, or someone who might not have like the best case scenario for their loan. And why I say that is because if an FHA loan allows you to come in with more, I guess, kind of flexible, for example, down payment on your loan. So you'd come in at around maybe 3.5% off the purchase price. So that's pretty low. So it allows you as maybe a first-time home buyer, or a home buyer, to come in with a low down payment. And in addition to that, say for example your credit score, FHA allows you to come in with a lower credit score when compared to a conventional loan. So it gives you as a buyer coming in a bit more flexibility to be able to purchase that home. Another thing to consider with FHA, why it's good for first-time home buyers, is that the one thing that we as a lender we consider is your debt to income ratio. So that means the ratio of your expenses, your monthly expenses when compared to your income. So we don't want that to be too high, because if you're going to take on a mortgage, that means it's going to determine whether you can afford to get that mortgage or not, right? So with an FHA loan, there are higher limits for your debt to income ratio, which means you can have a bit more expenses and still be able to tack on that mortgage loan on a monthly basis. And we as a lender would be able to accept that, which, as I mentioned, gives you as a buyer a bit more flexibility to be able to get that loan, or to be able to be approved for that loan. Another big thing with an FHA loan is that the guidelines, and this is more so a con than a pro, the guidelines are a bit more strict when it comes down to an FHA loan when compared to a conventional. And so, usually a lot of people tend to go conventional because they don't have to go over so many loops. Like as if, in comparison to, the conventional, where the guidelines are not as strict. So that's something to consider also. So just going over those key points, it kind of shows you that the FHA loan is really, geared towards a borrower who might not be in the best case scenario, but they're stable enough income wise, they have a decent credit rating and stuff, to be able to get qualified for a loan. So on the side of conventional, a conventional loan is really geared towards someone who's more prepared, meaning you're coming in with a higher down payment. For example, we tend to encourage people who are going the conventional route, not that you have to, but you'd come in with maybe a higher down payment, say around maybe 20%. And why that is important is because you'd be able to eliminate your monthly mortgage insurance. So once you're at that 80% equity point, you can pretty much cancel off your mortgage insurance with a conventional loan, right? So it usually is helpful when you go that route, versus with FHA, typically that mortgage insurance is going to be set for the entirety of the loan, right? And so in addition to that, with a conventional, the requirements from the standpoint of, credit, it's going to be a bit steeper. In addition, also the debt to income ratio, it's a bit more strict. It's not the limit is not as high as FHA, so it kind of eliminates people with higher debt to income ratio. So for conventional, you need to have less expenses compared to your income to qualify for the for the conventional loan. And another one of the key pointers I'd bring up is that typically for a conventional loan, the interest rates are a bit higher than the FHA loan. So that's something to consider for the long term of the loan, because if you're gonna get into a conventional, it's important to bear in mind that you might have to succumb to a higher interest rate when compared to an FHA loan. So I hope I addressed or clarified a lot of pointers that maybe you guys were trying to figure out regarding the differences between an FHA and a conventional loan. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to drop a comment. You can like the video. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm always here pretty much when you guys need me, so feel free to drop a question so I can, create more content that is going to be helpful for you guys on your journey to purchasing your wonderful home, So thank you guys again so much for tuning in, and I look forward to presenting another video for you guys. All right, have a good one, guys.